begin with your stories in brief. We begin in Imo State, where the governor-elect, Emeka Ihedioha, has inaugurated a technical transition committee tasked with the assignment, ensuring a smooth transition of government and also helping in developing a blueprint for the development of the incoming administration in Imo State. During the inauguration of the members of the committee in Owerri, the state capital, the governor-elect says since the elections are over, the business of governance has commenced in a bid to deliver on his campaign promises, especially of transparency, assembling the best hands in Imo, and providing a responsive and responsible government. He says it was important to inaugurate a technical transition committee that will stimulate development in all sectors and across all zones in the state. With the conclusion of the governorship polls in River State, the election tribunal has been flooded with petitions from aggrieved candidates, dragging INEC into a lot of legal hurdles now based on the conduct of the elections. Well, let's join a former acting chairman and national commissioner from the Independent National Electoral Commission in reviewing the general elections. And Amina Zachary joins us from our Abuja studios. We'd like to thank you for joining us on Lunchtime Politics and perhaps first ask how you felt when your name and your position, you were dragged into all of the politicking at the beginning of the general elections. How did you feel about that?
Well, thank you very much. I remained focused because name calling is part of the game. Any member of the election management body globally knows that this comes as part of the assignment. You can't avoid that, but what you need to do is to remain focused, to remain diligent and do your work to the best of your ability. If you get distracted, you may not be able to deliver. So the best thing to do is not to get distracted by this name calling and just continue on the trajectory and do your work as best as possible.
We also know you handled health and welfare of INEC ad hoc staff. We'll perhaps be asking you about that because, I mean, there were some protests by INEC ad hoc staff during the elections. But first, ask how, in your opinion, how the general elections played out.
Well, I didn't handle welfare of the ad hoc staff. I only handle welfare of the commission, which is a committee of welfare and health and welfare, which has nothing to do with the elections. The welfare of ad hoc staff is being handled at the local level. And basically, that time that we had the issues was as a result of the postponement. The ad hoc staff thought the election was going to hold and they resumed at their places of work. And unfortunately, because the election was not going to hold, the arrangements were not tight. But subsequently, when the elections were holding, we didn't have such issues any longer. And the elections went seamlessly and the welfare was well taken care of as in the usual manner.
What do you make of the comments that INEC this time has been quite untidy, seeing as a number of inconclusive elections and even also the myriad of cases flooding the election petition tribunals?
Well, this also comes as part of the territory. Unfortunately, Nigeria seems to be the most litigated, INEC seems to be the most litigated election management body because the space is there, our democracy is growing, we can't avoid these court cases. People that feel aggrieved have to go to where it can be resolved. So obviously, we'll have all these cases, but eventually it's the number of cases that are upturned or where the commission is indicted that we'll worry about. But we can't avoid this litigation. So people are free to litigate if they feel aggrieved, and all we have to do is provide them with the materials they need to make their cases.
And the question comes in that after May 29th and perhaps June, when we'll have the executive and legislature sworn in, what role will INEC continue to play between now and then?
Between now and then, we worry about the litigations and how we can provide the materials for the litigants and also get our lawyers to defend us where we need to be defended. After May 29th, we need to continue with the process of building democracy. In the next 4 years, we need to take stock, even before May 29th, we need to take stock of what happened during the last elections and then how we can improve further. And then we begin another phase of another election cycle, which may include recommendations for legal review, also improvement of our processes. And you know, we still have some one-off elections. We're going to have Kogi and Bayelsa. So with these elections, we begin to test new procedures, improvements in our procedures. So basically, we don't go to sleep in the 4 years. We continuously work to improve. And we may have by-elections as a result of deaths, because some deaths have already occurred of elected members. Some have occurred. Some will occur before swearing in, some will occur after swearing in. So in these smaller elections, we begin to fine-tune and reassess our processes going towards 2023.
All right, we'd like to thank you, former Acting Chairman and National Commissioner from the Independent National Electoral Commission, Amina Zachary, for joining us on the program. Well, a group known as Okigwe Political Forum, they're asking INEC to release the result of Imo North senatorial election held on February the 23rd and March the 23rd. Addressing a news conference in Abuja, the National Secretary of the group, Chief Ifeanyi Uwakwe, called on the electoral body to release the results to avoid a breakdown of law and order in the area. He observed that the people of the area are getting restive because of the delay in the announcement of the results.
The Imo North Okigwe Political Leaders Forum, made up of all political organizations in the zone, is performing its civic responsibility in calling on INEC to declare the results so as to prevent the breakdown of law and order in our area, as our people who voted in that election already know whom they voted for. They know the results, and they are becoming restive.
Well, the National Judicial Council, they have decided against considering the allegations of misconduct leveled against the suspended Chief Justice of Nigeria, Walter Onoge, and the acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, Ibrahim Mohammed. This decision was taken at an emergency meeting reconvened to consider the report of the five-man committee constituted to investigate the allegations. According to a statement from the NJC Director of Information, Soji, the council abstained from considering the allegations relating to assets declaration leveled against Justice Onoge because they were sub judice. He says council, however, reached a decision on the petitions written by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, and others, and conveyed that decision to President Muhammadu Buhari. The council also resolved that by the nature of the decision reached, it would be inappropriate to publicize it before conveying it to Mr. President. You've been served on the program Lunchtime Politics. Many thanks for watching. I'm Millicent Walker.